Alright, video for exercise 5.2, C-clip. On this one I'm going to look at the overall width, which will be 1.5, and the overall height 1.25. So I'm going to create a rectangle, type in 1.5 tab 1.25, enter. And I'm going to center this up. I'm going to dimension from the center to there. I'm just going to type in 1.25 divided by 2. And from center to here, 1.5 divided by 2. Now, I'm going to look at that top corner, and well, let's look at the top part first. I see there's a line from the top down, 0.2, and it's got a 45-degree corner here and a 45-degree corner here. So what you can do, there's 25 ways you can do this, but I'm showing you one way. I'm going to use a line command and just come over here and put a straight line arbitrarily here, and I'm going to dimension it from there to there, 0.25, enter. I'm going to grab another line, come out here. The line, it doesn't matter about the length, you're just trying to find that 45 degrees, 0.25 again here. Now where these two lines cross is going to give me a 45-degree angle that I'm looking for. So I'm going to choose my line command, go from point, I got to check that again. Yep, that's good. Point to point. And now I'm going to use my trim command, and I'm going to trim all parts that we don't need. We don't need these lines anymore. Now, I'm going to do the same thing down here. Line, anywhere, make sure it's straight, dimension it, 0.25, another line, anywhere, straight, dimension it, 0.25, enter. And where they cross again, it's going to give us our 45. Just choose there and there. Go to trim. Trim off everything we don't need. Cancel that. Trim, 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 trim off. Okay, now we got that outside corner. I'm going to come in here and draw a line. I'm going to dimension it from here to here, 0.2, enter. I'm going to come over here and draw a line. I've got to zoom out a little bit. And I'm going to dimension it 0.3. You can get all these dimensions right off the drawing. And I see a line I forgot to trim here, so I'm going to trim that off. It won't let me trim that because I have a dimension. So I'm going to right click, OK. I'm going to delete that dimension. Now it should let me trim it. Okay, now we have this point here, and I'm going to need to offset these two lines 0.125. So I'm just going to draw another line here and dimension from here to there, 0.125, enter. And I'm going to draw another line down. Dimension it 0.125, enter. And let's see, that's going to give us line, let's zoom in on it, from here to there that we need, the 45 degree. And I can trim everything else off. Now we'll come down here and do the same thing. Line, dimension it, 0.2, enter. Now we have to offset these two lines with an additional line. Dimension this. I know it's getting kind of crazy, but that'll be 0.125. Then this line is going to be 0.125, enter. And where they meet on these corners will give us the 45. Now let's drop back, trim. Okay, we have that. Now, I know that at some point there's a line. Let me go trim these off right here. I don't need those. At some point there's a corner over here. I'm just going to draw a line anywhere and dimension it from this line to this line. Needs to be 1.25, enter. And at that point it's going to drop down at a 45 degree line. So I'm going to go here, just draw a line out here anywhere, and I'm just going to accept that 1.9. It doesn't matter what the length is. You could come way over here. I just want to get to this angle, so I'm going to hit tab and go 45, enter. Now I have that. I'm going to hit escape to get out of there, and I'm going to hit my trim button, get rid of those. So this comes down 1.25. I'm sorry, at 45 degree angle, and we just have to keep looking around to see what we can find here. I know that there's another line that tells me that the height of that C is going to be 0.375. So I can come in here and draw a line straight across, and I know I can dimension it from here to there, 0.375, enter. And I also, let's see, what else do we know? That I can trim. Let's go to trim. I know I can trim this off, and I can trim this. Oh, let me go back. Let me hit that back button. That line is going to come down, drop down to this point, come down here. So I'm going to try to trim off this line where it comes down. Trim that one, trim that one. Now hopefully, nope, let me go back. Sometimes you got to mess around with this a while. I know this line here is going to be 0.5, so I'm going to type that in, 0.5, enter. And let's see if I can trim some of this off. At that point, this line is going to go up, so I can trim this off. back button again. Sometimes you got to do it. Let's see if I can trim from the bottom. I need that. I don't need that part. So I'm going to have to get rid of a dimension. I'm going to delete that dimension. Try to trim this. Can't do it yet. Gotta keep going back. Let's see. Try to get rid of this dimension. And this one. Trim. There we go. There's the top part of the C. I want to show you guys a trick. Because I have this, we center this about this circle, about this point here. I can come in here and just trim off all of this bottom part. Even the part that I did here. I'll show you a little shortcut. And I'm coming here at the center point and draw a line here. Trim this off. And I'm going to use my mirror command. And it comes up, it wants you to select what you want to mirror. Just select all of the lines. And my mirror line, I'm going to come here and click this, is going to be this line. Hit apply. And hit done. Now I'm going to come back and trim off that line I don't need. Finish sketch. Might have to go back and delete that one. Let me just see if it'll extrude. Yeah, it will. And they tell us the extrusion is 1/4 of an inch, so I'm going to type in 0.25, enter. And there you have the C. 5.2, create your blueprints. Now, if I look all